You may have heard of two Ghanaian refugees and their journey from Ghana to Brazil to the United States of America and eventually crossed the Canada border illegally in December 24, 2016. Both men were underdressed and eventually they lost their fingers to frostbite. Mr. Mohammed Seidu and Iyal Razak, after 8 years of their near-death experience in a deadly Foot-SLOG, are now Canadians. Today, I share their deadly Foot-SLOG experience in a story with you. But before that, please take a look at this. And when we come back, we begin with the story of Mohammed Seidu and Iyal Razak. Reporting, my name is Stephen Amakwe, a freelance broadcast journalist.
You and I know say the country where we benefit from as Nigeria youths. Now Canada.
Nah, Canada. 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 Fresh, Big Brother, Kanagan, Cross River, Calabar, Nollywood, Sakaba, Marito the ball I said na maybe Alaba. Go in Canada, backward.
Wow, we were about to give up because we know we're gonna die in that snow on the highway.
Ago, two Ghanaian refugees in Minnesota, America, embarked on a deadly Foot-SLOG in a snow squall, suffered frostbite, only saved by a good Samaritan truck driver. Mohammed Seidu made a journey with Iyal Razak, who accordingly fled Ghana due to fear of death, as the pair crossed the U.S. border to Canada on Christmas Eve 2016. Both Mohammed and Iyal lost their fingers during the journey because of frostbite and now trying to change the perception of refugees in Canada.
Because the snow was very, very deep, and if we step in, the snow is on our waists. So we have to go through the farm and pass through the snow. And it was like, we took 3 hours before we sneaked to the border of US to Canada.
Their story begins in Ghana, where the once promising football star allegedly faced persecution for his sexual identity. He made a trek from Ghana to Brazil, and then from there through Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, and Mexico to eventually land in Canada. During the journey, the pair were constantly robbed, threatened, and faced hardships like dehydration, starvation, and language barriers. When the two made it to the United States, they were detained and fined heavily. Eventually, Mohammed made it to Ohio, where his brother was living, and had a trial with Columbus Crew, a football professional team, but failed to make the team. As an Islamic person of color who didn't feel safe under former President Donald Trump because of the political climate during the time, Mohammed Seidu and Iyal Razak escaped to Canada through the deadly Foot-SLOG.
We struggled on it like three hours. We were still walking in the snow. My eyes all were frozen. I can't see nothing. So my friend, I was taking his footsteps. Understand? I was taking his footsteps. Whenever I can't see, I have to call him for him to stand to help me.
However, Mohammed and his friend Iyal Razak didn't research Canada before they set off on foot from Grand Forks in December 2016, as both men were underdressed, and ultimately they lost their fingers to frostbite. After walking on several hours on that deadly snow squall night to just outside the city of Emerson.
So 3 hours before we got to the highway of Canada, so we were walking there. When we got there, we were walking there, and like 7 hours, we were walking on that highway. No help.
They were found by a truck driver and rushed to a hospital in Morris. Few weeks after, they were transferred to the Health Sciences Center in Winnipeg for further treatment, and that is where they learned they were going to lose all their fingers. Mohammed Seidu recounted his experience with the doctors. Quote, "I was traumatized. I didn't expect it to happen to me and my friend. I was crying, asking myself, how can I work? How can I eat? How can I work without my fingers? The doctors were very helpful. They were telling me, oh, you can still work. You can do a lot of things. Just that, like, I am going to lose all my fingers, and I didn't take it easy, crying and everything. I didn't expect it to happen to me. End of quote. Since then, the pair have worked with doctors and scientists to develop tools that allow them to do things one might normally need fingers to do, such as use a computer and use their cell phones or even tie their shoelace. Looking back, Mohammed said, "Where you are not welcome, some country will welcome you." Quote, "It is difficult to see your country not caring about you. They don't care about your freedom and don't care about human rights. But the country that cares about human rights, cares about freedom, and cares about you is a country that you have to be in." End of quote. Making his case to become Canadian citizen, Mohammed said, "We are not bad people. We came here as people with honor, with respect, and also to make the country grow as we are in it. We came here for a better life, to take care of our families, because our families back home don't do anything because of what is in our home country, like war and corruption. I will never pray for my enemy to go through what I did. I know what I went through." Mohammed said, quote, "It is painful. It was a mistake that I made, but I don't regret it anymore." End of quote. Meanwhile, Mohammed's life so far have made him more determined to give back to people around him from a position of leadership.
Mr. Mohammed Seidu and Iyal Razak, after losing their fingers to frostbite, feared they might never fit in society again. However, they have become stronger because of it. Reporting, my name is Stephen Amakwe, a freelance broadcast journalist in Toronto, Canada. Bye-bye.